Okay. So my name is Clara Bajado.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm from France, but my parents are originally from the Philippines, but I live in London, in the UK now. Um, I got incidents from my dad because, like, back in the days before he came to France, before he immigrated to France, like, he was a ballroom dancer in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to Europe to help his family and became a chef cook. So all my childhood was like really paced with French parties and music and dance a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And when I got I started to take classes. Maybe I was 7, like street jazz and things like that. And I discovered street dance and hip hop culture when I was 15, so mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if it's really different. I just think that maybe and it's an art form, so like there's something also about putting ourselves like out there as artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like maybe if you take someone who is, I don't know, a good like office worker, you might not see it like as much as a dancer in a way that like a dancer has visibility, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that is linked to her art form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I feel like yeah, the female energy is all around. It's more a matter of like being aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
being aware that we have it, and being aware that like it has an impact around us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just that. The other thing when I say like I've never been facing like discrimination is because like I've been lucky enough to be trained by men in my life that always supported me as a girl and as a woman. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger, like my mentors always like used to tell me like, oh, don't forget that you're a girl. And for me, it was like, yeah, I know I'm a girl, you know. But like the fact that they were repeating this made me realize a lot of stuff like when I started to teach, for example, when I started like to teach girls as well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, my mentors like used to train me and go like, okay, like you can use like this area of your body like way more than us male we can do. And again, it was something where they were point because when you learn, you mimic, you know, and I
Mm-hmm.
think like I was growing up without maybe like really being aware of my body changing or you know like just things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That my mentors were like, yeah, you're a woman. You're becoming a woman now. You know, you have like this that you need like to be aware of. You know, and I think like I grew up blessed with those advices. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that is the mass media that does that. You know, because you go to class, there's way more women than men.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Um, I think there's also something with women in general that find it hard maybe like to put themselves like out there just
Mm-hmm.
like that, you know. And it's not about like fear or things like that, but for example, I know a lot of dancers who are older than me, like maybe in their 40 plus, 50 plus, who started dance because of a woman in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Either the big sister, either like their mom, and these women were not as popular and they were not on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But if you ask like a loads of men, yeah, I would say in their 50s, they all started because their big sister like brought them, had to take care of them when they were young, and they had to bring them like to a dance practice,
Mm-hmm.
or because their mom was always dancing, or you know, like most of these popular men, like they all started with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, like, I think there's also this thing of like, maybe we want to be recognized, but we're maybe really bad at dealing with popularity.
Okay. What do you mean with that?
You know, I think like there's something like maybe there's something like a bit selfish about this idea that like that might not match with like the female energy.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
You know, and I think like, and I'm not saying like it's good for everyone, but from what I see a lot of women or girls that are really great in dance, but they find it hard like to put themselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because they feel that has nothing to do with the fact that they're loving them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, male dancers like pushed me to be more on social media.
Uh-huh.
I think it's not about like teaching women to put like themselves out there. It's maybe like motivate them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not really like helping, because like everyone scrolls, everyone is on social media. You know, there's still people who are not on social media, but like when you're an artist, no matter what branch you are, it's really hard like to live without it nowadays. You know, so it's more like making them aware of how important this tool can be, and how this tool can be helpful, like for their art, for example, or for their growth or whatever. You know, just that. But it's also like being more. It's still like being aware of why do you use it and how you are using it. The thing is, like, I might be able to tell you what it is to be feminine, like in your dance, either you're a woman or a man, but like I don't know what it is to be masculine, like in you know, like I have a biased idea of what it is like to dance like a man, but I don't have the tools or the knowledge to tell you like that's what masculinity is.
Okay, then can you describe femininity like in like I don't know 3 or 4 words in dance?
Just in words, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like femininity is empowerment, acceptance, representation, and gracefulness.
Yeah, that's cool because you chose like pretty abstract terms that could.
Yeah, because it can be both, but like I think it can be both definitely. For me, like what was my first word? Acceptance. I think like the thing with femininity, like in dance, you can think like, okay, like to be feminine in your dance, then you have to look sexy and you have to wear heels and you have to move this way and things like that. I think femininity in dance like is the same thing as like in life. As soon as you're aware that you're a woman and that you have like the benefits of being like a woman, then it changes everything, you know. So for me, like there's the thing of the acceptance and I think for a male it must be the same, you know. But it's that like I think there's really this thing of like, okay, now we're gonna do a female hip hop class. What is that? for me, like, what is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither. And that's what I meant. Like, I think like femininity, like in dance or in life, is just like the awareness of being a woman, like in your body. First in your body, then in your feelings, and then how it's gonna be out there. And I think like that's super important, and it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Like most of the women, maybe less now, but like at least my generation or after, or even now, like have been trained by men. So there may be less aware of that. They may be aware of that in their life, but maybe not in their dance. And that's why, like for me, the representation is important, and the representation matters as well. In a way that, like, okay, if I'm learning from a man, then as a woman, this is how I express it, and vice versa. If you learn from a woman, then that's what you're taking in, and this is how, as a man, you're going to put it out there. So that's why, like, maybe the words that I chose were a bit abstract, but like for me, that's see, for me, when I read that question, it was really interesting, and the first thing like that came to my mind was Alabama abortion problem. Okay, so basically, there's political men that decided on laws about abortion, which, like, long story short, like, men decided on what women can do or not with their body. I don't have that pretension. I don't have that pretension of like, okay, if I was a boy, that's the way I would dance. Because I don't know what it is to be a boy.
Okay.
So, and again, like, it's a bit like what I said, like, just before, like, I have an idea of, but like a biased idea of like a boy moving or a boy feeling, but it doesn't mean that I'm right, So yes, I wouldn't have like any pretension in telling you like, okay, if I was a boy, this is how I would dance, because I really don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I think like both are a good start, I would say, but again, the idea behind it like can be a bit. I mean, like, if tomorrow I would have like, okay, this event like is only for boys, which like some of them are, but like it's not promoted as much as that, but they are, then everyone would be like, hold on, what the fuck is this, But you have events that are only for women, and I think it's cool in a way that like it gives some woman like maybe a motivation to be part of something. Maybe they feel like, I don't know, maybe. And the thing is, like, I don't think they fear men in a mixed event. I just think that, like, again, this female energy like might be something more supportive for them. So they might feel like a bit more comfortable, like just being around like the same energy as them. I don't think that the female who don't enter like mixed gender like event is because they're scared of the boys. I don't think it's that. I think like the energy is just like completely different. And so I think it's cool for that, but at the same time I feel like we're so much like, as women, we're so much like fighting for equity and for how do you say, equality. Do you say equality in English? Yeah, for being equal. Then when there's things like this happening, it's a bit like, but when we do this, we're doing something like super inclusive again. So we're excluding, and again, I'm supporting them because like I've been part of that. I'm still part of things like that, and I think like the female energy is always strong. I will start with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like trust yourself, trust your ideas, trust your skills, and trust the journey. You know, us women, like we go with our guts. You know, we really go with our guts. We want to do something, we'll go like full on. Like we hate something, like or someone, we're gonna try to kill that person. You know, like we really go with our guts. You know, there's no, when it comes to feelings or emotion, there's never like a middle. You know, it's either we're full on, either we're not. You know, and I think like that's what makes us us. You know, and that's important, like to embrace it. And I would say the same for men. I would say like trust us. You know, trust our skills, trust our knowledge. You know, trust.
Sorry,
Sorry, trust us, like trust our skills, trust our vulnerability, because it can teach you a lot about your vulnerability. Yeah, I think it's a matter of trust, like in both sides.